some of the things I find that help me are giving myself a treat. Okay, so first treat I bought, a water bottle from Laura Jane. I don't really fit her clothes very well, so I might as well drink out of a water bottle that's hers. It says drink more water, which is something, it's very important. I've got to do that. And another trick that I do at the gym is if I'm on the treadmill. I don't like running, but I do a little bit of running every now and then, mainly just fast walking and up the levels. A trick I do, I position myself near the big fan that's on the side wall, and I just go. This is when it's getting really hard, like after about 30 minutes, and I'm wanting to push myself to 45, 50 minutes, and I'm getting bored, even though I've got my headset on and I'm looking at friends or listening to music, which is really helpful for me. I have the fan, and when it comes round, I wait till it comes round to me, and then I look up at it, and then that's just a time that goes by, and that's my little reward. It's pathetic. And that fan takes a little while to go back around, and I keep going, and wait, the fan's coming again. That's my little reward. Here it comes again. And I just look up at the fan, and it breezes me because the sweat's pouring off me. Oh, I'm not even really going as fast as people around me, but that's just a little silly thing that I've thought of. When I used to go for walks around the neighbourhood, I'd just get a little post. Okay, I'm going to run to that post, but when I'd sort of get to that post, I'd kind of think, no, just do a little bit more. So get another little spot in the track and just run a little bit further to that. So I guess that's what I have to do, because for years I've been going to the gym but not really pushing. I just thought I was fantastic getting there. I thought I was great. I was going to the gym, and but it really wasn't producing the results that I needed to produce, so I had to up the ante. Getting older, my health's starting to go. Now, it's not really dramatic. I don't have cancer. I'm fortunate, not that I know of anyway. But I've been starting to have some health issues. Skin cancer is one thing I've dealt with, and I've had to have skin cancers cut out of my nose down here with 13 stitches there, 13 stitches there. I've had some stitches up here with one cut out. I've had some down here, and I've been going to the dermatologist because the last few years, well, that's obviously what I've decided to do, is to get rid of them because I don't want to die of sun cancer. If I die of cancer, that happens, but if I could prevent and I know what's going wrong with my body, I'd rather know. I'm one of these people who'd rather be proactive. So the skin cancer is one thing, but the last visit to the dermatologist said I don't have to come back for 12 months. So cool. So just 12 months, and I know I love the water and the beach, and I love the sun. So but I have to make sure I'm totally covered with sunscreen and be very careful. But the fact that I can now have 12 months without really worrying about any incisions in my beautiful face is good. But I've had all sorts of things, and you might not be able to see that, but I've just had blood tests this morning, and I've had to pee in the bottle again, and that's for kidneys. Now, I don't know, I just had a routine blood test recently, and came up with some kidneys, something going wrong there. So then she sent me back for another blood test, just in case it wasn't really accurate. So a few weeks later I had another blood test. I don't like blood tests. I used to faint all the time when I've had a blood test because I've got low blood pressure. It's not the psychological. Don't listen to people when they say it's psychological. It just happens. I can feel it draining out of my body, the blood. And it can be other reasons too. I've fainted in my life. I've slipped over and hurt myself and hurt my bone, and all of a sudden I fainted. I fainted into the river when I was 12. Could have died, but I didn't. And I faint. So blood tests aren't my, I don't really like doing them, but they're necessary. And I always lie down when I have them because you don't want to pick me up from the floor. It's not nice. And so I had the blood test today and a wee test. Well, this wee test was just a simple one, luckily, but the other day they sent me on a big wee test, which was 24 hours. So I had to collect this urine for a period of 24 hours. I had to think, when am I going to have 24 hours where I'm going to be kind of at home? I don't want to be going out, because it had to be kept in the refrigerator. I tell my 12-year-old son, now I'm putting this big bottle in the refrigerator. I put a bag over it. Now it's got pee in it. And of course he just grosses out. I'm sorry, but I got to do it. The hardest thing about it was through the night, because I get up a couple of times at night. You've got to go and get the bottle out of the fridge, bring it in, do the pee in the jar, pour it in the funnel into the bottle, and then go and stick it back in the fridge. And then 3 hours later in the night, you wake up again, you need to do another pee. So you do the same thing again. So, and it was funny, sort of after that process, every time I went to do a pee, I'd think, am I supposed to be catching this pee? So then I had a scan done, and she said, look, the kidneys look all right, but there's something still showing up here, and it might be some tube going down. You might have been born with it, like a defect. It could be like having a sixth toe, but because it's inside, they don't know. So anyway, so now I'm up to the stage of just having these tests done today, going back to the doctor again, and I don't know if it's still showing up. She'll have to send me to the specialist, and who knows. I'm trying not to think about what's happening. They've kind of ruled out the cancer side, because they did a blood test that said really it probably wasn't that. Not it's 100%, but that was good enough for me. So I've had kidney problems. I've had, in the last year, my sinus is playing up really bad, which I've had a lot over the years, and so much so that I decided I'd get my nostril burnt out. And I don't know, the hardest thing was really the smell of burning flesh for a while, and I think it's kind of helped. I still can't really breathe well, but it was going to help. She said it might help just a millimetre, and that could just free my breathing up. But it's just getting old. There's a few aches and pains. My mother used to say, wait till you get to my age. And I'm, doing that. I'm bumping into things like she did. Constipation. That's another one of my biggies. That's been around for 8 years now. I guess it's irritable bowel syndrome. And with stress, because I have been stressed. And that's why going to the gym and doing exercise and yoga and things like that have helped me. So constipation is there, and it's a pain. I've had to even eat all bran like my mother used to eat. People who don't have it just don't know what it's like to have it. It's just horrible. And but there's so many things that have been wrong that I just put it on the bottom of the list. Take a number. Last year, going away from the wonderful bottom to the other part of your body down there, I jolly well had to have a curette. Now, all of a sudden, something happened. I had some bleeding and I shouldn't have, and so they checked it out. They did a scan again. They're getting to know me at the scan place. Did a scan, and I needed a curette because I had polyps and fibroids. Great. I got a wonderful photo of them. It's really gross. So I had to have a curette at the end of the year, and I went in, and it was a day sort of thing. But, it costs so much money. You pay more to it than you get back. So half the pain is just the money you go through helping your health get better. So I had that too. So there's been a few things that I've had, I guess, since I've turned 50. And I guess there will be a few more to come.